Did you know Kaitlan Collins became CNN's youngest chief White House correspondent at just 28? Wild, right? Let's spill the tea on how she pulled that off. Hey, it's Emma, and I'm feeling super inspired today. Like head-to-toe goosebumps inspired. All right, let's talk Kaitlan Collins, the CNN anchor who turned high-pressure politics into must-see TV. She's the reporter who can grill a president at noon and then anchor a primetime show at 9. She moderated that headline-grabbing Trump town hall in 2023. She's led White House coverage across 2 administrations. And at 9, her show, The Source, became the reporter-driven bridge between Anderson Cooper, CNN's longtime icon, and Abby Phillip, another sharp CNN anchor. Her vibe is calm but surgical. Receipts ready, fact checks on tap. Honestly, that's a flex. So why am I extra inspired today? Because her career reminds me of a time I had to step up when the universe really did not send a calendar invite. Picture this: a packed city arts festival, food trucks, street performers, and me thinking I'm just there to sample a churro and post cute photos. Then the event's headliner flakes on a scheduled interviewer, and somehow I'm tapped to do an impromptu onstage Q&A with the deputy mayor. Yes, the actual deputy mayor. The person who signs things and gets quoted when things go sideways. My notes? Non-existent. My prep? A tragic 0. The stakes? Thousands watching, phones out, ready to immortalize my potential epic fail. I'm handed a mic, and it's like, "Hi, here's a hot seat and a spotlight. Good luck, honey." My brain went full buffering wheel. But I remembered what pros like Kaitlan do. Keep it simple and ask about what people actually care about. So I led with transit delays, funding for arts programs, and safety at late-night events. When the deputy mayor slipped into jargon, I pressed once, twice. Calm, but firm. And you know what? The crowd was into it. We got real answers, nobody booed, and I didn't trip over a cable, which honestly felt like a personal victory. I walked off realizing adaptability is everything. That's Kaitlan in a nutshell. When the moment goes off script, she doesn't flail. She tightens the question and keeps the receipts close. Okay, let's move on and set the stage for her rise, Eli 5 style. A White House correspondent is basically a bridge between us and the people with the nuclear codes. You're not there to be liked. You're there to get answers that affect lives. Collins grew up in Alabama in the 90s. Not a media dynasty, just a middle-class family vibe. She actually started in college as a chemistry major, then pivoted to journalism and political science. That is a major plot twist. She joined the Daily Caller in 2014, a conservative-leaning outlet. She covered the 2016 election and became their White House correspondent in early 2017, front row for the Trump era right out of the gate. Then, in mid-2017, CNN hired her after she'd already been making on-air guest hits and meeting Jeff Zucker, then CNN's president. She started traveling on Trump's international trips, and by 2018, she was making waves. That summer, during an Oval Office pool spray, she asked Donald Trump about Vladimir Putin and Michael Cohen, standard accountability questions. Later that day, she was told she couldn't attend a Rose Garden presser. We'll get to that drama in a minute. By 2019, Forbes named her to the 30 Under 30 list. In 2021, she leveled up to CNN's chief White House correspondent at just 28. Yas Queen. Historic. In 2022, she moved to co-anchor CNN's new morning show. But by mid-2023, she was tapped to take over the 9 p.m. slot with The Source. That hour had been a vacuum since Chris Cuomo left, and planting a reporter-first show between Anderson Cooper and Abby Phillip created a clean 3-show arc. In late 2024, CNN announced she would return as chief White House correspondent for the second Trump presidency, while keeping her primetime show, Day in the West Wing, Night in Primetime. That is a grind. By 2025, Mediaite ranked her among the most influential in news media. And in 26, she won a White House Correspondents Association award for deadline coverage of a tense Oval Office moment between J.D. Vance, then vice president, and Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukraine's president, with Wolf Blitzer presenting. That's not just a gold star. Its peers saying, under pressure, she nailed it. Now, on to important people and pivotal moments. Let's talk about the 2018 barring incident. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, then Trump's press secretary, and Kellyanne Conway, a senior advisor, framed it like decorum and said she shouted and wouldn't leave. Bill Shine, a White House communications official, pushed back on the word banned. On the other side, CNN called it retaliatory. The White House Correspondents Association blasted it. And here's the plot twist. Fox News president Jay Wallace publicly backed CNN on press access. Yes, Fox backing CNN. In this economy, that solidarity told you the stakes were bigger than cable rivalries. It was about access to power, full stop. If I were Kaitlan, facing that kind of public scrutiny would be daunting. You're doing your job, asking about Putin and Cohen, and suddenly the door is shut in your face. Cameras rolling, everyone guessing motives. That is a big yikes. And yet, she didn't spiral. She kept showing up, kept asking, kept filing. That perseverance is the assignment. It's the difference between being part of the circus and actually holding the ringmaster accountable. Let's be clear. Was she banned from the Rose Garden? The White House folks said it was about being polite in the room and objected to the word banned. Practically, she was physically blocked from entering that event. CNN and the Press Association said it was retaliatory. My take? Word games aside, when the administration curates who can enter because they didn't like a question, that chills everyone. Access isn't a reward for good vibes, it's a guarantee for the public. You don't have to love a reporter to let them in. You just have to respect the role. Otherwise, it's not a press conference, it's a pageant. And speaking of pageants, remember the 2023 CNN town hall? Collins moderated questions from Republican voters to Donald Trump, the star of countless political dramas. Mid-fact-checking over subpoenas and documents, he called her a nasty person. That line flew around pop culture like a meme on espresso. Some people cheered, others rolled their eyes. Everyone had a take. What did it show? The job of interviewing power in real time, with millions watching, is messy as hell. You can challenge, you can push, but you also have to keep the train moving. She held the line. That moment crystallized the bigger challenge for journalism now. Be accurate, be fast, be fearless, and somehow also keep the audience with you in a polarized playground. Fast forward. In 2026, Trump, again the president, posted an AI-generated image mocking Collins by swapping her face into a Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light ad. Mulvaney is a trans actress and influencer who became a lightning rod in the culture wars. That post wasn't just petty. It was a preview of how synthetic media can be weaponized. Collins didn't clap back with insults. She posted a line attributed to Eleanor Roosevelt. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Low-key devastating, high-key classy. Also, curveball from 26. Shots rang out and the White House Correspondents' Dinner was canceled mid-evening and later rescheduled. When they finally held the awards, Collins won for that Oval Office deadline coverage of the Vance and Zelensky moment. Imagine the adrenaline. Your hands are shaking, your brain is sprinting, and you've got seconds to get the story right. That's the job. That's the work beneath the headlines. So what lasts here? Beyond the viral clips and the trolls, you've got a journalist who moved from a conservative outlet to CNN, who bridges day reporting and night anchoring, who keeps showing up when the temperature hits boiling. And the industry noticed. Galeka, a critics group, named her among the best TV news journalists in the mid-20s for exactly that fact-checking energy. Mediaite put her among the most influential. Awards aren't everything, but they do tell you who consistently brings receipts when the stakes are huge. Okay, pause. This next part is everything. The social stake. When power bullies the press, regular people lose visibility into decisions that hit their wallets, their bodies, their safety. Reporters like Collins aren't supposed to be protagonists, but in this era, they end up as characters in the show. My hot take? Let the questions be tough, let the answers be public, and let the audience see the receipts. Anything less is mid, and democracy is not a mid project. Next time, we'll dive into the world of social media influencers and their surprising political impact. Spoiler, they're not just selling face cream, they're selling narratives. So, that's the tea, folks. Remember, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. Later.